Hospitals are places of healing, where lives are saved and hope is restored. But some hospitals are different. Some are places where the line between life and death blurs, where the walls whisper secrets, and where the patients never leave. Tonight, I'll share 3 terrifying stories from an abandoned hospital, a place where the past refuses to stay buried, and the shadows are always watching. Let's begin. The old St. Mary's Hospital had been abandoned for decades, but its reputation lived on. Locals called it cursed, a place where patients went in but never came out. I didn't believe in ghost stories, but when my friends dared me to spend the night there, I couldn't resist. We arrived just after sunset, the hospital looming in the distance like a forgotten relic. The air was thick with the smell of decay, and the windows were shattered, their jagged edges like teeth in the moonlight. We made our way to the operating room, the heart of the hospital's dark history. The door creaked open, revealing a room frozen in time. The surgical tools were still laid out, rusted and covered in dust, and the operating table was stained with something dark and dried. As we explored the room, I noticed something strange. The heartbeat monitor in the corner suddenly flickered to life, its screen displaying a steady rhythm. "It's just old wiring," my friend said, but I wasn't so sure. Then the table began to shake, and the tools rattled as if someone or something was using them. "Get out!" a voice screamed, echoing through the room. We ran, but the door slammed shut behind us, trapping us inside. The monitor's rhythm grew faster, more erratic, and the air grew colder. That's when I saw it, a shadowy figure standing over the operating table, its hands moving as if performing surgery. "You're next," it whispered. I don't remember how we got out, but I'll never forget the sound of that heartbeat monitor, or the feeling of cold hands on my skin. To this day, I avoid hospitals, but sometimes, late at night, I hear that heartbeat monitor again, faint and distant, like it's calling me back. But the operating room is just the beginning. Some parts of the hospital are even darker, and even more dangerous. The children's ward was the most haunting part of St. Mary's Hospital. Its walls were painted with faded murals of smiling animals, but the smiles seemed twisted now, almost sinister. I didn't want to go in, but my friends insisted. "It's just an old hospital," they said. They were wrong. As we walked through the ward, I noticed something strange. The toys scattered on the floor were moving, as if being played with by invisible hands. "Look," my friend said, pointing to a rocking horse in the corner. It was rocking back and forth, its eyes glowing faintly. "Let's get out of here," I said, but it was too late. The laughter started, soft at first, then louder, more manic. It was coming from all around us, echoing through the ward. That's when I saw them. Shadows of children running through the halls, their laughter turning to screams. "Help us," they whispered. "We're trapped." I tried to run, but the doors were locked, and the shadows were closing in. "You'll never leave," a voice said. I closed my eyes, praying for it to end. When I opened them, I was outside, my friends shaking me awake. "You passed out," they said. But I knew better. The children's ward was still there, waiting for its next victim. I never went back to the hospital, but sometimes, when I'm alone, I hear that laughter again, faint and distant, like it's calling me back. But the children's ward is just a taste of the horrors that await. Some parts of the hospital are not meant for the living, and some patients never leave. The morgue was the darkest part of St. Mary's Hospital. The air was thick with the scent of decay, and the dim fluorescent lights flickered weakly, barely illuminating the rusted metal drawers lining the walls. Each one held the remains of someone who had never left, I didn't want to go in, but my friends dared me. "It's just an old morgue," they said, grinning. "Nothing's gonna happen." They were wrong. The moment we stepped inside, a deep chill ran through me. The room felt off. Not just cold, but heavy, like the walls were pressing in, like something unseen was watching. Then I noticed it. The drawers. Some of them weren't fully shut. Some were open just a crack, their contents spilling out. Fragments of cloth, brittle fingers peeking through. I swallowed hard. "Guys, let's not stay too long," I muttered. But my friend Josh was already pointing. "Look, at the far end of the room, one of the drawers was moving, shaking, as if something inside was trying to force its way out." "That's not normal," Lisa whispered, stepping closer. A loud clang echoed through the morgue as the drawer suddenly lurched forward, metal screeching against metal. We all froze. Then, slowly, it slid open, and something climbed out. At first, it was just a shape, a twisting, writhing shadow that seemed to defy the dim light. Then it took form. A tall, gaunt figure, its skin stretched too tight over its bones, its eyes glowing faintly like dying embers. It turned its hollow gaze toward us. "You're next," it whispered. The words slithered through the air, thick with malice. We ran. Lisa reached the doors first and yanked at the handle. "It won't open!" she screamed. Josh slammed his fists against the heavy door. "Come on! Come on!" But the shadows were closing in. The figure moved toward us, slow but certain, its skeletal fingers outstretched. The lights flickered again, and for a brief second, everything went pitch black. I felt something brush against my shoulder, a voice inches from my ear. "You'll never leave." I squeezed my eyes shut, willing it all to disappear. And then, silence. When I opened my eyes, I was outside, lying on the grass. My friends were shaking me awake. "You passed out," Josh said, his voice unsteady. Lisa's face was pale. "We couldn't wake you up for a while." I sat up, gasping. The hospital loomed in the distance, dark and silent. The morgue was still there, waiting. I never went back. But sometimes, when I'm alone, I hear that laughter again, faint, distant, curling through the night like a whisper, calling me back. Hospitals, places of healing, comfort, and life. But what happens when the halls fall silent, the beds are left empty, and the only sounds that remain are the echoes of something unseen? The abandoned hospital is not just a forgotten building. It is a place where the past lingers, where the spirits of the lost refuse to move on, and where the line between life and death fades into nothingness. The stories you've heard tonight are just a glimpse into the horrors that lurk behind peeling walls and flickering lights. But remember, not all hospitals are what they seem, and not all patients are meant to leave. If these stories sent chills down your spine, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more terrifying tales. Your support keeps the darkness alive. And tell me in the comments if you found yourself standing in front of an abandoned hospital. Would you dare to step inside, or would you listen to the whispers warning you to turn back? Until next time, stay curious, but tread carefully. Some doors, once opened, can never be closed, and in the shadows, something is always watching, waiting, listening.